Let's be honest. Container gardening can feel like a love-hate relationship. You start strong, with lush greens and thriving blooms, but a few months later, your once vibrant pots turn sluggish. The leaves yellow, the soil compacts, and water either sits on top or runs right through without soaking in. Most people think the solution is to dump the old soil and start fresh every season. But that's where the lazy gardener knows something everyone else doesn't. You don't need to replace your soil at all. In fact, you can keep your container mix healthy, productive and fresh for years with a fraction of the effort. Today, I'm going to show you the surprisingly simple method that keeps container soil forever fresh. And yes, it works, even if you rarely have time to water or repot. The real reason container soil dies so fast. The downfall of most potting soil isn't neglect, it's biology. Over time, organic matter like peat moss or cocoa coir breaks down into fine particles. These tiny fragments fill the air pockets in your mix, making it dense and suffocating to roots. So, even if your soil still looks okay, it becomes lifeless, stripped of the living ecosystem that keeps roots thriving. You see, in nature, soil never stays still. It's constantly replenished by falling leaves, worm castings, and decomposing plant matter. Container soil, on the other hand, is sealed off from this natural cycle. If you want to make it last forever, you have to recreate that renewal process right in your pots. And the lazy gardener's trick does exactly that. The secret lies in building a living soil system that maintains itself. The lazy gardener's secret isn't about working harder. It's about letting biology do the heavy lifting. Instead of dumping and refilling your pots, you create a miniature ecosystem inside them. The key is introducing ongoing organic matter and microbial life, so the soil can continuously refresh itself from within. Here's how it works. Start by keeping your old potting mix, even if it looks dry or compacted. Gently break it up with your hands to loosen it, then add a few handfuls of compost worm castings or leaf mould right on top. Don't mix it in too deeply. Just let nature handle it. Each watering will slowly draw nutrients down into the root zone. Over time, beneficial fungi and bacteria reawaken, decomposing old organic matter and releasing minerals in a form your plants can absorb. If you're truly hands-off, the easiest method is to add a thin layer of organic mulch, something as simple as shredded bark, straw, or even dry leaves, over the soil surface. This layer prevents evaporation, regulates temperature, and slowly breaks down to feed the soil. To make this system last indefinitely, just follow what I call the lazy gardener's rhythm. Once a year, usually before the growing season, scrape off the top 2 inches of old soil from each container and replace it with fresh compost or, a blend of compost and worm castings. You don't need to empty the pot or sterilize anything. The living network in the lower layers will continue doing its job. Then, during the growing season, feed your soil, not your plants, with an occasional drink of diluted compost tea or liquid seaweed. When a growing cycle ends, say your summer herbs or flowers die off, don't toss the soil. Instead, remove the dead roots, break up the mix a bit, and let it rest for a few weeks with a light layer of compost on top. Let's take a practical example. So, say you've been growing basil, lettuce or peppers in a large container. At the end of the season, just remove any remaining plant stems and roots, fluff the top layer with your fingers, and add about 2 cups of compost or, a handful of worm castings. Then cover the surface with dry leaves or straw and water lightly. After that, simply leave it be for a few weeks. Even indoor pots benefit from this system. If you have houseplants, just sprinkle a spoonful of compost or worm castings over the top every few months and water normally. It's a microdose of nutrients that, honestly, keeps the soil alive without the need for repotting. The beauty of the lazy gardener's method is that it actually gets better the longer you use it. Over time, your container mix becomes a stable living ecosystem, porous, nutrient-rich, and just packed with microbial allies that manage pH, ward off pathogens, and keep roots thriving. You'll notice you water less often, plants grow faster, and, repotting becomes unnecessary. The best part is you'll spend less money and effort while producing healthier, more resilient plants. This isn't just convenience, it's sustainability in its simplest form. Let your soil live, and your garden will thrive for years to come. At the heart of this method is a shift in mindset. Your soil isn't a disposable medium. It's a living, breathing community. If this guide helped you rethink how to care for your container garden, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with someone who's tired of replacing their soil every year. Let's grow smarter, not harder, and let the soil work for us, season after season.